Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Yeah, I had to sit there and
Morning.
think what day it is.
I
We
love
had
that
a
music. It like wakes you up. If you are not awake by the
eh,
time we start, you are by the time we get started.
true, very true. But we were at San Angelo this weekend. Unfortunately, we didn't get as many of the videos as we really wanted to. Main reason was is some people didn't want them. I remember there was one lady because we were waiting in line, not waiting in line, but waiting to talk to one lady because we do not interrupt vendors when they're
Mm-mm.
doing their business.
They're making money. We leave them alone.
Yes. And then the lady next to her, she wasn't. And then all of a sudden she's like, no, I do not want to be on that camera. So,
We had fun. There was a draw off. There were
yes,
the two. It was Jen and John. Jen and John that were
Jen
drawing
and
off,
John.
and they're drawing off to figure out who could draw you best. I still like Jen's. She's very whimsical, but John did the rugged, and that is you. So
Yeah.
I do give him
Um,
that credit. But hey, Albie's on too.
that had, what we have, five guests there? Albie
Yes.
was one of them.
hmm
Brittany Karbowski, John Swayze,
hmm
Christina
John
Kelly.
John Grimion.
And those were the five guests that we had. And they were fun. It was
Mhm.
nice talking to them. And then,
They
of
were
course,
really
we had
cool.
our,
They were all different.
yes.
So they all had very distinctly different personalities. And so it was nice. It was a nice change of pace. It was very unique. It was fun. It was lighthearted.
And then we had the panels. And of
Mhm.
course, that was fun because I got thrown on one panel in the morning, and then mine was right after that. So it was like 2 hours of panels, and it's like, oh, for joy.
Yeah, but there was the one we did on podcast with Albie, and the one question was asked about preparation. And so I'm holding the microphone, and Greg's like slapping the table, like, give me the microphone. I'm like, how long can I hold this before he jumps over the table to grab the mic? Yes.
Yes, yes. And the most embarrassing one, ha, had to say Kevin Sorbo for you.
Well, he's one of my top five. I own it. I'm good with that. So,
But
yes, all of them, Chris, yes, John Swayze is down to earth. They're all really cool people. I'm really happy. And we had a very fun time. Got to know some of the vendors that we might not be able to because we're on the opposite side of the state. We were able.
it's only a 7.5 hour drive. Come
That's
on
all.
now.
The weather was so different because we're used to like the high humidity. So I don't know about you, but my hands were like sandpaper by the time it was done. My lips were totally chapped, and it was just because it was so dry compared to where we are.
Well, my sinuses are kicking in
hmm
today from coming back.
As we were
So
going across
yes,
the state, I was sneezing across the state. Yeah.
you there's definitely a different air
hmm
atmosphere, I guess you would put. And of course, they had the rodeo going on at the same time, or their
hmm
livestock show, and they had a soccer tournament
Yep.
also. So I mean, it was a bunch going on in San Angelo.
hmm But despite all
On
that, it was a really good turnout.
Yes, it
I was
was
impressed.
very much so.
hmm Well
And like I
organized, and everything seemed to flow pretty well. Because I did the floor coordinator, so Tori made the schedule. So as long as that schedule was flowing, we were all good, and everybody got shifted around. Security was really good, and making sure that everybody was looked after. Trev made sure to make sure that the guests were where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there, and he was our food runner. You were heading the media, and
hmm
so everybody was doing really good.
yes, I liked it. Like I said, I wish we could have done more, but it
hmm
was hard because I didn't really have a volunteer to do videos, and I was
No,
actually sitting a lot more at my table trying to actually do sales. I haven't done sales in a long time, which Cyphicon will be my big one for sales.
oh, I'm excited for Cyphicon.
But what is that? April 1st through 3rd.
Yeah, April Fool's Day is when it starts, which is our birthday. Yes, or the
April
second.
3rd.
April 3rd is our
April
birthday.
3rd,
hmm
the last day.
The last day. That's okay. It's our birthday. I'm gonna try to get the vendors to sing happy birthday to the con hour.
Ah, that will
Watch
be
me, I'll
fun.
do it. I will do it. You know I will.
And then I know Friday we have Linda Young coming on. I'm looking
Very
forward to
cool.
that show. She's
Dragon Ball Z.
yes, she did the voice of Frieza,
Hmm.
and she's a she's a sweetheart. If you haven't met her, she is really nice. So
Hmm.
looking forward to having her. And then this week I'm going to be working on our putting out. I already have it done, but putting out our March schedule.
Very cool.
So I don't know if I'm just going to do pictures or if I'm going to do video this time. I thing with February is it's such a short month.
Hmm.
I need another 2 days.
Shh. No, we're just going forward. It's like some of January and February were rough for some people. I mean, I know like when they were getting ready for the San Angelo Comic Con, they had a little bit of time to get everything done. And so, like, when Shalom was the one that was with, organizing all the vendors and artists, and then Angel, something unique that they had there that I haven't seen. Well, I haven't seen it, doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but the video gaming. Angel took care of the video gaming, Fat Cats took care of the card gaming. So that was a unique aspect to Comic Cons that I haven't really seen before. So it like encourages more participation for people too.
Oh, they have them. It's just you got to go to the right convention.
Right. I know they've got them, but I personally haven't ever seen it done. And
Mm.
so it was pretty unique. They had the VR glasses, and he kind of asked, "Do you want to do 'em?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah. Well, the one here in New Caney, which is called MagCon,
Hmm.
and I don't know if they're having it this year or not. They had it last year, but it is strictly gaming convention.
Hmm.
It's nothing but games, and you have creators of games there. They had, well, normally they have LARP, and
Hmm.
people who don't know LARP, live action role play, just so you know.
Hmm.
But then they have all the gaming tables set out so people can do tournaments and stuff like that.
Well,
And
and I
people
like
who,
that because it encourages them to be there all the days because they can bump up on the tournament.
well, there's also people who created games that have their own table, and then they
Hmm.
actually have the game out to show demos of the game.
Hmm.
So I mean,
I think that's cool.
it's fun, and then they have auctions and giveaways, so that was fun.
That's always fun.
Oh yeah.
And the one cool thing they did this weekend too that I haven't seen, I don't know if you've seen it before. Each of the vendors had Sunday passes that they could give away to anybody they wanted. And I
Hmm.
haven't seen that before, and that was a really unique twist. When I was passing them out, I told them they get to play Santa Claus, so they were sprinkled all through San Angelo, and I thought that was a really unique twist too.
Oh yeah. It was definitely, I guess, unique in a way,
Hmm.
giving vendors a couple of passes to bring people in.
Hmm.
Now they don't always come in, but you can always hope that they come in.
But it
But
encourages them to come in, and they get. I mean, it's free. Why not?
yeah,
I'm just saying.
this is true. But with so many events going on, they could have gone to the wrong event.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I thought it was this event. No,
And then we
but
had the cosplay contest on Saturday. But my
mm-hmm,
personal favorite, and I love it at all the Comic Cons, is the kids cosplay because they are so stinking cute.
mm-hmm. The kids can be amazing, especially the
Hmm.
little ones.
Well, the
Those are
one that
fun.
won, he was like the 1920s Spider-Man. When they did his, he literally struck a pose. It was awesome. I'm like, that's parenting done right.
Yes, we did like that idea. It was it was good, and I think it gave the vendors a little bit more encouragement.
Hmm.
Like, hey, we can get free passes, we can get people to come in. It's like definitely liked it, and it was nice meeting, I guess, new vendors
Hmm. Some
because
news, some that we've seen, at the different ones too. So it was
right,
like, old
but being
hometown.
around the Houston area, you don't really get
Hmm.
to see the vendors that are out in other cities like that.
Hmm.
Not that far away, anyway.
Yeah. And it kind of encouraged some to come to like Comic Conroe in August because I know some of them who are from there were thinking of coming this way, and some from Comic Conroe actually were there. So it was like old
Hmm.
home weekend. It was like, hey, I haven't seen you for a few weeks. So that was
Yes,
fun.
and I was going to say I hadn't seen John Swasey since Comic Palooza. That was how long it's been since I had seen him.
Hmm.
So, I mean, like I said, it was unique. You had your differences. Everything
Mhm.
was good. I
I
enjoyed it
know
very much so.
one fun thing I did for each of the panels because I was moderator for them. For each of the guest panels, was I had them each do a sample of their favorite character, and that was unique. Just watching them jump into their character, and I learned a lot about voice acting just from listening to the different panels and the different perspectives from everybody. It was pretty cool.
Well, because it was on the main floor and they had it over the
Mhm,
speakers, you could hear a lot of them talking about what they do to keep their throat fresh too. And
mhm,
that was interesting hearing the differences of how each one does it.
mhm. Some are natural, and then there's some like John and John who, whiskey works well.
Well,
Um,
I like the potato chip answer.
yeah, potato chips. And then there was one of them, I think it was Brittany's, where the one guy was like centered on pizza the whole time. She asked like 5 or 6 questions, and all of them were on pizza. And I'm like, she goes, "What is your fascination with food?" So it was fun. It was neat because anybody could ask questions about, and they were game. They're just like anything you want to know, ask it.
Hmm.
And so it was really enlightening, and I like that.
I know I had the two panels on. One was streaming and one was podcasting, and they were
Hmm.
fun. It's also interesting to get to see or hear, rather, the ideas that people have for what they want to come up with shows. And
Hmm.
I know there was one little girl there that she wants to start it, and it's like she was a little bit embarrassed to ask questions, so the father was mainly asking questions for her.
Was she texting him too?
No, she was right there sitting next to him, but he was just asking for her.
Hmm. I liked how this one encouraged a lot of fan participation, regardless of what it was. It just encouraged a lot of fan participation, whether it was questions, whether it was the vendors. Like I said, the caricature artists, that's something we haven't ever seen. At least I
Hmm.
haven't seen at an actual Comic Con. I've seen them at like rodeos and stuff and fairs, but not at a Comic Con. I thought that was pretty unique. The artists were phenomenal that were there,
Hmm.
like crazy good.
I
So,
can't believe the draw off was still
hmm.
that was funny because seeing them. Well, I couldn't see them, but them both working at the same time
Hmm.
and then coming up with two complete different pictures was just
Well,
it was just a
later we had Jen do Trevor and I. So when I go to post my Comic Con stash for the weekend, which will be coming up in the next day or two, you're gonna see the caricature that she did of Trevor and I together. I liked
very
her
nice.
style. It was very whimsical and very flowy, and I like that.
One thing I do need to say is just so y'all know, Amy's running a little bit late. She did tell me beforehand, so hopefully she'll get here on time. We're hoping because I think she had a book launch last night.
Oh,
She she keeps busy. Believe
she
it or not,
does,
she's a busy little bee.
and she has two littles on top of it. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, so we're all kind
So
of dragging a little bit. Chris says yes, fan participation is what the fans remember the most. That's what makes it a successful convention. Definitely.
definitely
Hmm. And it's like when you can
100%
make when
agreeable.
you can make those moments instead of going to like just a show to walk around, but when you can make those moments where you can actually talk to some of the guests, talk to the vendors, if it's something you're interested in, get tips, get tricks, get that just is memories that you can't replace.
Yes, and they had a lot of wonderful vendors there. I
Hmm.
have to say, they had a lot of wonderful vendors. And again, like I said, we would have had more videos, except they were all busy.
Yeah,
And it was hard to really get to somebody who was not busy.
I still don't think we actually got Brittany's, did we?
No.
Yeah, we didn't get her. Her line was like for I to talk to her, and I was in charge of making sure she was where she was. There were times I'd sit there for literally half an hour just to talk to her or to
Hmm.
talk to her handler, even because her handler was just as busy as she was. So,
But yeah, I mean, she had a line,
hmm,
a lot of the vendors, lines constantly.
hmm,
And it's like, hey, that's good for them.
hmm,
And that's another thing that makes a Comic Con because the vendors, they help by bringing in the art, the all sorts of different things because you have authors that are there, you have
Hmm.
artists that are there, woodworkers, pops,
Hmm.
mugs. I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't anything super heavy to one vendor type. You know
mhm.
what I mean? It wasn't like just toys or just artists or just authors. They were actually pretty well spread out.
Yes, and many of them weren't next to each other either, so that helped out
Hmm.
quite a bit.
Yeah, Shalom and Scott did really good at placing them kind of scattered throughout, so you weren't like, okay, this aisle is just this or this is that. And there
Hmm.
weren't any holes either, which was good.
Definitely. But like I said, it was a fun show,
Hmm.
and looking forward to next year. I don't. Do we
The
have any
only,
date confirmation yet on it, or?
not that I know of, but the one thing I did not like were the hills because there were ramps you had to go up and down to get anywhere you needed to go to. I think my poor calves and shins were like, I think I have shin splints from the day I should have stretched before each morning. It was like because you have to walk up and down the ramps, and
Yeah, you can't help that all the time.
yeah, no. But of course,
But
yeah.
technically, it's right around hill country, so
Hmm. Hills
so
everywhere,
yes,
but
even
it's
in the
a nice
stadiums.
town. It's very. I was pleasantly surprised. There were a lot of places to eat. There were a lot of unique places to go.
Hmm.
So, you know, San Angelo's a pretty cool town. I like it.
No, it's not only that; it is college town, which
Hmm.
always makes it fun.
And Trevor told me they have a minor league baseball team. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they have a minor league baseball team. I did not know that either. I can't remember
Huh,
what he said they were, but it has something to do with the animals that are all over.
Albie, he had a
Hmm.
great time.
Yeah, it was
That
really
was,
fun.
yes, it was. And what else? Like I said, I know when the Youngs come in, I'll be
Hmm.
working on the schedule. I
So, do
can,
we get any hints as to what's coming up in March?
I'll give you a few hints.
Yay.
I'll just look at my little notebook, which has scribbles all over it.
Hey, it looks like one of mine.
We have a comic book creator coming in March. We have uh, a Power Ranger reviewer, but he's also an artist, so look
Okay.
forward to that. We have a person who's running, I don't know if it's 4 Comic Cons or, and one of them's coming up real soon.
Ooh.
And what's after that? And we have another convention coming up. So we have a lot of conventions coming on the show the next month, but we
Well,
also have an artist, a comic book creator,
I
and
like talking to the coordinators because it gives you a different inside view perspective of the Comic Cons. Because you can just go to the Comic Cons and have fun, but when you kind of know like the ins and outs and you have like a heads up of who's going to be there, sort of thing, it just kind of adds to it.
well, not only that, but it lets people know where they're at.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know, like even the small towns.
Hmm.
I mean, not everyone knows all those small towns and where they're going to be at. It's like last year we had Dayton, Texas, who just started their first convention at DegaCon.
Hmm.
I mean, who would have thought Dayton, Texas, out in between Houston and Beaumont? I mean,
I know
and
I
people
will
don't
be
know that.
there. I will be there this year on Saturday, Super Heavy, and I will be there for the Pathfinder crew.
Hmm.
So we'll be showing up, and I know you're going to be there too for that one, right?
I'm definitely going to try to make it, but I'm just going to go as media filming.
Hmm.
I'm not
Um,
going as I'm not going as a vendor.
I know I'll be at Kilgore Geekend, which is the first weekend in May. Trying to think of the other one. Obviously, Comic Conroe. Trying to get media to Comic Palooza. So we'll see how it pans out.
Well, there's a lot of different shows, and like I said, the
Hmm.
I know one of them that's coming on next month is going to be shows that are out of state.
Hmm.
So, like I said, not everybody knows all the ones out of state. It's like AnchorCon; they had their first one up in Clayton, New York.
I know the Black Hills one is the beginning of June, and I know is it Chaotic? Is it the end of June?
Chaotic Freedom Celebration,
That's at the end of June.
right? So, I mean, there's a lot of shows, and that one is in Lake Jackson, by the way.
Hmm.
and that's going to be probably their first convention.
Hmm.
And then, of course, we'll have some surprise announcements coming up in the near future. We
We don't
won't.
even know half the time until he posts them, just so y'all know. He holds us in suspense all the time too.
Sometimes I don't even tell them until the day of the show.
Well, you have to at least tell us that we have a show in order for it to be on my schedule. Because if it's not on my schedule, you won't see me there. Generally
Oh,
speaking,
that one choked me up.
you all right?
Oh yeah.
He's kind of like the dad who's got this bag of candy and is like holding it just high enough that we can't reach it.
Mhm. But yeah, I might just put in an announcement, episode 2 point whatever, and not put anything next to it. So it's like they know that there's a show, they just don't know what it's about or who's going to be there.
Yeah, which really, come on.
Well, you never know. One of these days, CJ might pop on and then just pass out.
Probably it you know mine? Anybody who watches this show knows who my list is to be on there. And if any of them are on there when we come up, yeah, we might come live and you're gonna see me passed out in the chair. So and Greg is in the process of calling my husband, telling me you need to get upstairs and revive CJ for the show. It's a strong possibility. It is possible.
I
It
wouldn't
can
do
happen.
that.
If there's someone like, I don't know, Will Wheaton, Sean
Here we go with the
Astin,
list again. See,
any of the Stargate crew, any of the Star Trek crew, any of Doctor Who, John Barrowman. Oh my gosh, if we
this
had John Barrowman, I would pass out too.
this is why I don't ask her.
I know.
She tells me everybody that she
I
wants.
can I can list them off like that.
All I have to do is go back and rewatch a show.
I'm like, okay, who's next on my list? Let me see.
Who did CJ say?
Pretty much anybody who watches the show could probably quote it to you by now.
Probably.
But that's what happens when you're a sci-fi geek. I mean, you know who you know, and you know who you want to meet.
Yep. And then, like I said, I have half of April filled.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I have all of May filled. Good Lord.
Do you really?
May, yep.
Our May is like every single weekend we're gone.
No,
Like,
I have
literally.
May completely filled. So I guess I need to go ahead and open up June. No.
Mine and Amy's birthday month. Are you going to do something special for each? Maybe get one of our top 5, top 10 list people for each of us. I'm in the
Here we go.
beginning. She's in the end of it. I'm just giving you birthday hints. I know yours is April. Get one of your top 10s on there.
Mine's going to be having the day off.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
My birthday is Easter Sunday, so
Oh, jeez.
yeah, I guess you can say I'm having a feast for my birthday.
There you go. It works.
Other
You
than
get like
that,
a double celebration for it.
but
And the stupid thing is,
I also want to know who our guests might want to see on here. I've seen
yes.
a bunch that have just popped on. So, yes, tell us ideas of who y'all might want to see on here. And
I mean, y'all know who I want to see. So tell me who you want to see.
I'm not going to make promises, but I can actually reach out to people.
He's got connections now.
I'm not the one scared to reach out.
He's got connections now so far. We've been on for almost a year. Our birthday's April 3rd, so he's made some connections through the year. Just saying.
Yep. So, oh yeah, I do need them. Basically, I think we have one weekend in April because I did promise somebody that we'd get them on. So we only have one slot to fill. So
but
basically,
hey,
we're filled for 3 months.
Doug Jones. Who is Doug Jones?
He's the one going to Cyphacon. He
one?
plays the alien in Star Trek
Discovery. Oh yeah, the one that's got like multiple alien dude. That guy is killer. I don't always know the names. I know the faces. So, except unless they're in my top 10, then I know their names. But yeah, I don't always know names.
And she's wearing a Star Trek uniform in this picture over here. She didn't know.
Right there. Well,
and
I
she
don't.
did not know.
Do you know every cast and character person that's in all the shows that you watch? Like everyone? No.
Not by
I mean, you have
name.
to remember, we grew up in the
Well, let's see.
one-hit wonder generation where it's like you know the song, but you don't always know the artist because they had one-hit wonder and were out the door. That's kind of how my brain works. So if I see the picture, I know who they are. But if I just hear the name, it's like, okay, are you in my top 10? Because if not, I probably don't know your name right off the bat. I got to see your face. Because half the time you'll tell me and
There's
I'll look it up. I'm like, I know who that is.
well, there's a bunch of them. Like I
Mhm.
said, there are a bunch,
And hey,
and that's why I said reaching out.
anybody who wants to be on, who happens to be on, say my list or
Not
and I'm going to throw this out for Amy, any of the Walking Dead, you know, get a hold of Greg.
not not only that, musicians, because don't forget, concerts are part of
Musicians,
cons.
definitely.
So
Artists.
whoever y'all want to see, tell me, and I will reach out and I will try to help and
hmm
get them on the show and have an interview with them.
Definitely.
And we are
Love to.
growing pretty fast. And I do want to say, please, guys, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's at a standstill. Facebook is growing faster, and I'd love to see them try to catch up. So
hmm
if you
Oh,
prefer
isn't there
watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. It's the Con Hour.
isn't there like a giveaway if we reach
No,
250
not
or
right now.
something?
Not right now.
Okay. I tried.
Not right now.
I tried, guys. Sorry. Daddy said no.
We're gonna work on that.
Sean Aston, will we? Thank you, Chris. You
Yep.
met them? Oh,
Oh,
dude,
I
we need
mean,
to talk.
yeah. Oh lordy.
If I ever meet them, you will see me passed out on the floor. Chris, talk to me, dude. What was that like? Because, yeah, they are like, Sorbo was like in
That's
the top 5, but they are like my 1 and 2.
no, really.
They are like,
I wouldn't
I would
believe
pass
that.
out.
I would
I would
not
pass
believe
out.
that.
But you have to remember, they're our generation. So, like, we grew up with them same time. So it's like, huh, yeah, not,
But
yeah.
and remember, people, I'm not scared to ask people. I'm not scared to go to the publicists. I'm not scared to go to managers. I'm
Oh,
not
he is
scared to go
not.
to agents. I mean, what's the worst they're going to do? Say no?
Mhm. He is not afraid.
Hey,
So if you have a
everyone's
connection,
human.
send it to him. Greg, who do they send it to? I just asked him. I pulled a waitressing trick. I asked him a question
The,
when he took a tip. How did they get it to you?
the conhour@gmail.com.
Awesome. So if you got connections, Chris,
I got,
you got
I
connections, Chris,
got,
let him know.
oh, Lordy.
I'm trying here. I'm trying.
She, she wants those too badly. I have
You
some
have
people
no
that I
idea.
do want to ask, but
I
I
would
got to
let,
wait.
yeah.
But I
I
don't. I guess I don't have to. Well, I'm going to wait because I'm actually going to rest today after the show. I am going
mhm.
to take a long nap. That is a
I'm
hell of
not.
a drive.
I can't. I have a cover reveal in a few days. My mother-in-law's coming in tomorrow. Um, we have a author's got a book launch next week. I have an interview on Amazon Live next week. And somewhere in there I'm writing and we have Book World podcasts and we have these podcasts. So it's all fun. It's just rest is not Dr. Pepper's my friend.
Well, I got my CAT scan on Saturday and the chemo starts next week. I need to get rested up and get
You
ready
do.
to get hit hard
You do. You have to get some
because
rest in there.
if it's been 2 months and I'm going to get hit hard with it.
hmm
That I do know.
And kind of brace for the impact because
Right. But that doesn't mean we're stopping doing shows. We're
Mhm.
still doing shows, people. Remember that. I'll be on my deathbed.
He'll be in the hospital and you can see like the background of a bed and he'll be like, "Nope, I'm good. Let's keep going. We're on. We're live."
And then the IV thing starts going beep, beep, beep.
Nurse, come shut this off. We're live.
Doesn't phase me at all. I'll do it. You know
I
me.
know you would. Like,
I
I
am the
don't
type of
mind getting
person that
people to
does
sing happy
anything.
birthday to the con hour, but like, you're hardcore. You don't mind going to agents, being told no, asking. Yeah.
I can see me and the nurse fighting over the iPad. No, no, my show, damn it.
Don't touch. Give me an hour and then I'm yours.
That's me. Yep.
Hmm. I could see that
But
happening. I truly could.
and unfortunately, I am gonna have to cut this show short today. I am
That's okay.
exhausted. That is a long drive. My sinuses are killing me.
I get it.
I sat in the car for 7 hours. My body's killing me.
So we have Linda Young next. What day is that?
That is on Friday at 6 p.m.
Friday, 6:10 p.m. Chris, again, get a hold of Greg for the Sean Astin Will Waiting connection. Please, you will make my year. You will be my hero. I'm just saying, putting it out there.
There's no telling what she'd do for that, but we won't go there.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Alvy, you too. Everybody, have a good week, and we will see you
Yes.
Friday at 6:10 with
And
Linda Young.
until Friday, adios.